So apparently the biggest problem in the universe podcast is about to break up. Dick Masterson, VITO, the P word. These guys are, everybody keeps telling me it's happening. Jesse, you did it. Congratulations. You're making them break up. I had a guy right before the show began. This guy, Godfrey, on Twitter, he tweeted this. Hang on a second. He says, let's take a look at this. He says, 2 months ago, at VITO Comedy pushed back against at Dick Masterson's narrative, the Patreon debacle with at podawful after being inundated with cows in chat. 1 month later, VITO crossed the final line. Did Dick orchestrate the Riley situation to conceal the real reason for VITO's firing? Now, that might be confusing to you if you don't keep up with the drama around the biggest problem. And you probably don't keep up with the drama around the biggest problem for 2 reasons. I know this looks like 3, but trust me, it's 2. There we go. 2 reasons. Number one, it's fake. And number 2, it's gay. You know, the reason you normally ignore something on the internet. Now, this guy, Godfrey, he shared, this is a screenshot. So a while ago, we did this episode on Dick Masterson. And in our after show, in the Pizza Fund afterward, VITO, Dick Masterson's co-host, came. Dick Masterson and I are enemies, I guess, according to, I don't know, Dick Masterson. For some reason, he doesn't like me because I was friends with Maddox one time. Now, silly me, I could have sworn Dick was friends with Maddox one time. But anyway, I'm not allowed to have a Patreon, is the point. So I had VITO on my show in the Pizza Fund. People were paying to see it. And that kind of upset Dick Masterson just a little bit. Now, of course, I also, if you don't remember this, I also sent a guy to Dick Masterson's house to deliver him a cow. Okay? I said, do have a cow, man. That's my classic Bart Simpson style catchphrase. Decided to get my own Riley and troll Dick Masterson. Here's the cow. A guy put a cow in Dick's truck. All right? A silly, harmless, completely harmless prank. Remember that. Going to a guy's house, completely harmless. That's going to be important here in a second. All right? So let's go back to this. This is, again, the thing that this guy Godfrey tweeted out. This is me. I said YouTube just cheated every single podawful channel. Sigh. I was doing sort of a Chris Chan type.
The pickle man tricked me again. This has all been a trick. You have been trolled.
And of course, there's the shot of the motel where I infamously was there when Chris Chan was arrested. Now, VITO responds to this. He says, I wish there was something I could do other than offer my sympathies. If you find a new home, let me know, and I can blast out the link. A lot of people hate this VITO guy, but that's pretty nice of him. There's no reason for him to do that for me. That's very kind. Oh, wait, I should get him to do that. Hang on a second. I need to tweet. Can everybody tweet out to VITO? The link is awful.tube, okay? He says right here, if there's something he could do other than offer his sympathies, he would. If I find a new home, let him know, and he'll blast out. Let's blast out the link. We need VITO to blast out this link. Okay? Send him the link to this episode even. I don't know, awful.tube or this episode. Go get VITO to blast this link. I'm about to blast. All right. Now, this is no big deal. VITO replying to me. Whatever. We're friendly. Dick Masterson had a problem with it. Dick Masterson replies to VITO. Dick, by the way, got me blocked on Twitter. Has for years. He says, you're blasting out a guy's link who sent people to break into my house. LOL, bro. Go fuck yourself. Yikes. Now, I don't recall ever sending anybody to go break into his house. For starters, remember the end of the episode there where the guy went with the cow, the inflatable cow. The big joke of it all was that wasn't my Riley. That was actually a fan of Dick Masterson. That was just some meth head who loves Dick Masterson, and he sent us the video. I guess he knew that Dick would be mad about it, so we were the perfect people to put it out there. But he said he loves Dick Masterson. And, he had a few screws loose for sure, but I don't think he was planning on doing some sort of siege on the cow farm, if you know what I'm talking about. So apparently in the aftermath since all this, actually, let me just go ahead and tweet to Vito myself right now. I'll just, here we go. What's Vito's name on Twitter? I gotta all right, let's take this screenshot of Vito saying that. All right, I'm gonna tweet this out. You can find my tweet here in a second. I'm gonna tweet this out. I'm gonna say, hey, at Vito Jizz Comedy. Hey, at Vito Comedy. You said you'd give me a Maddox style blast when I found a new home. Can you tweet out this link, buddy? He's my bud. Buddy, thanks. HTTP awful.tube and send. There we go. All right, that tweet's live. Go do something with that tweet. Make that happen. All right, so, because this is making Dick mad. Now, everybody comes running to me. They go, Dick and Vito are having a falling out. What happened? Well, I look at it, and, Dick tweeted out about this. I go take a look at it, and I go, oh, I can't see this because I'm blocked by Dick! I don't know why I thought that would have changed, but anyway. So I log into a different account, and then I go look at it. The Goon Opticon is always watching. You cannot run goons. It is fruitless. It is so pointless to block me. I don't know why you guys all block me. What do you think I'm going to do? Not figure out incognito? So I go over there and I take a look, and apparently, here's what happened. And I think this Godfrey guy who tweeted that out, this guy's on the ball. I like this guy Godfrey because I think he's figured something out here. So what happened was Vito has been, they keep making fun of him for being a big roly-poly, rotund, corpulent, sort of lovable, holly jolly style man. And I knew that Vito could not take this sort of abuse. I DM with Vito all the time. I talked to him. I said, how in on this are you? And, it seems to me, he didn't directly say this, but I would say it's about 50-50. 50% he knows what he's in for when he goes on that show. And 50% he's a big fat guy on the internet. And we know how fat guys on the internet act. Look at me. Ooh. They don't typically react very well. So I guess what happened was Vito had finally hit his breaking point with all the fat jokes from Dick and from the fans of The Biggest Problem in the Universe. And he started deleting and hiding comments and banning people from chat. Now, that's pretty bad, but it gets worse. He even started deleting super chats, which is how he makes money on the show. And if you don't know how The Biggest Problem works, it's kind of an interesting system. Number one, they have a Patreon, and they're allowed to do that because no one's reported. They don't have a Dick Masterson to report their Patreon away. Number two, the way it works is there's only one or maybe two levels or whatever, or you can, I don't know if it's $5 or $10. I don't know what it is. But the gimmick with it is, and it's a pretty good gimmick, you can either donate it to Dick or Vito. Your levels you choose from are just one or the other guy. And of course, Dick always has more guys than Vito. It's not an even split with them. So Vito needs this super chat money. I mean, it must be hurting him enough that he's willing to forego money and delete these guys. Now, all of these people start figuring it out. There's a backlash. Out of nowhere, people are like, wait a second, my super chats are getting deleted. I'm never super chatting again. I'm pulling my Patreon pledge. And to that I say, yes, correct. Right answer. That is, in fact, what you should do.
Rest in peace, Jeff.
Okay.
They're cyberbullying me to death.
So I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, all right, what's the big deal here? Why does this mean Vito's out? Well, apparently, Dick is even concerned about... listen, the Dick Show... there's been wild theories and rumors forever. A lot of it stems from Maddox himself. There's always been this thing where, like, the numbers just don't add up on the Dick Show Patreon. He's making still like $18,000 a month, but you get nothing for it. I've told you guys before, for the $20 level of the Dick Show, you get to watch them film it live. I've done that. I've gotten in there for free before, and there's no one there. There's nobody in chat. Nobody's watching it. It's this bizarre house of tards, and it's ready to collapse at any moment. So I'm thinking maybe Dick kind of also needs that biggest problem money. So he's thinking about firing Vito from the show. Now, everybody messages me this. They go, Jesse, you're not going to believe this. Not only is Vito about to get fired, not only is the rift is starting to happen. This is what we've all been predicting. We've got a whole thread on this in our Discord, by the way, the Dick and Vito inevitable breakup thread, which I always poo-poo these. People always say this with Mersh and Royce and any of these dynamic duos out there. And I always in my head go, these guys need each other. They need each other for the grift. So there ain't going to be a rift. But maybe not. Now, hear me out. In this case, everybody starts telling me, they tweet me, they message me, they screenshot it. Take a look at this. Dick started considering new co-hosts for the show, okay? And all of this leads to this inevitable, insane mental breakdown live on the show of our friend Vito. Dick says, who would, hypothetically speaking, replace Vito? Now, the options were, and of course, like all four of these dudes are so desperate that they went and said, me, I should replace Vito. And of course, our options are Ethan Ralph, no brainer. Of course, we all saw that coming. Sad, pathetic, that sort of thing. Do we have it?
Sad! Pathetic!
There we go. It is pretty sad and pathetic. We've got Mersh. Of course, we have Mersh.
I know I'm fat. I know I'm a drunk. And I know I'm retarded.
We've got EVS, Ethan Van Sciver, who, of course, is the crazy hollowed out. He's like a tree stump that was somehow animated by a dark Pokemon ghost magic or something. He's got nothing going on behind his eyes. Total creepazoid. He wants to be the co-host. And then Josh Denny, who I've never heard of. So I was all excited. I was like, yes, let's get Mersh in there. Now, of course, behind the scenes, I'm telling everybody, this isn't happening. There's no chance Vito actually gets kicked off of there. And I'll tell you why. As fat as Josh Denny is, as dumb as EVS is, as fat and dumb as Mersh is, and as fat and dumb and pilled out as Ethan Ralph is, none of them are as fat as our friend Vito, which is the most important quality to have if you're going to be the co-host of The Biggest Problem. Because if you are a giant fatzoid, it makes Dick look better by comparison. Gives him an easy out for him, constantly being gay and wrong. So Mersh lost, by the way, by a land. Like, we went in there and we were trying to pump the numbers up. We juiced it. And he was the lowest on the totem pole the whole time. And he never gained really any ground. Mersh lost at 16.8% of the vote. And of course, Ethan Ralph won.
Did I cross swords with this guy at some point?
That's not really shocking at all.
That's not true.
It is true. So, EVS and Josh Denny did better than Mersh, which was really funny to me. Now, I knew there was no chance of any of this happening. And sure enough, like the next week, Vito's back on the show. I didn't watch the show, but he was on the show, I guess. And then he was on the show again. And then there was a breakdown where it almost went physical. And we are going to break down the breakdown on this show because I believe that something far more sinister is actually happening behind the scenes. You see, I realized something. Somebody told me, actually a few people told me, I think this is real. I think this is really happening. Jesse, I think you did it. You know, it's like this Godfrey guy said. I think Dick was so upset with Vito for sort of taking your side and coming on your show. He's now finding excuses to get rid of Vito. And I was thinking about it, and of course I love the idea, but I think it's actually even sadder than that. I said to these guys, I think Dick Masterson is looking over at Keemstar from LolCal Live. He's looking at Boogie, Keemstar's big fat guy that he constantly picks on, and he's getting pretty jealous because those guys are pulling in major bank. Those guys are getting written up in the stories. You know, Dick is going on LolCal Live trying to get a little bit of that shine. I think Dick Masterson, every time he's sitting there across from Vito, he's looking at Vito's big, succulent, round, stuffed body, and he's going, why can't that be my Boogie? And he wants a little taste. You see, this entire thing, the rift between Vito and Dick, it's not real. Just like everything on LolCal Live isn't real. This isn't just a rift. It's a grift rift. It's all set up to get us talking about it. And look, it's working. This is Pod Awful.
It is perfectly normal if you have a cat in the heat to take a Q-tip and get your cat off.
Okay. Yikes. Welcome, everybody, to Pod Awful. I'm your host, Jesse. P.S. Thank you for joining me at the program. We got live viewers here over on YouTube. Awful.tube. Subscribe. Got people over on Kick as well, I think, but I'm never going to look over there, and I don't know anything about it, and I refuse to engage. Sorry. The biggest bones. Yeah, the grift rift, guy. People are going to be using this term, by the way. I keep coming up with these grifter, drifter, grinting. Grifter rift is the next big one. People will start using this. They're going to start using all my terms. The only show that rocks, they say in the chat room. Thank you so much for that. That is so true, actually.
I am high energy. I can't control myself.
Let's go, Felted, etc. They're saying in the chat room. Hey, Jesse, this guy says, turn up the output a bit. I have you maxed out and can barely hear you over War Thunder. I don't know what War Thunder is, but please, if that's a video game, for the love of God, please stop playing video games during the program. That's very, very rude of you. I'll see what I can do about that. Unlike other people, you know, a lot of people would freak out in this moment. They would think you're trolling. They would go, shut up. They would say, deal with it. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to try to help you out here. Let's see if I can fix this. All right. Let's see. That do it? All right. Hopefully you can hear me over War Thunder now. Don't know what that is, but again, if you are doing other things during the program, you do have to stop doing them. I do not appreciate. This is not a second screen type thing. Do you guys know that? Do you guys know that there's this thing they call second screen content? They're purposefully building stuff for you to listen to in the background. Why is there a visual element? So that you can do this every once in a while. Huh? Huh? I call it rubbernecking content, you know? You might as well whiplash content. That's not what we do here. That's what, I'm not kidding. I saw that's been a thing for a while. A lot of people have never heard that term, but that's actually been a thing for a long time. They've been trying to make that happen. What was that big fake TV channel for the internet they tried to do? Tubi or so? Is that still a thing? Maybe it's not Tubi. There was CISO. There was something where they're like, we're purposefully making second screen content. And that's when I went, oh, we're in the dark future. Oh, yikes. What a horrifying prospect. I mean, listen, I like putting on stuff in the background while doing things too. Don't get me wrong. This just isn't one of those times. You need to put your things down, grab a Dr. Pepper, cozy up, get real comfy. We're kind of have a comfy, cozy, Kino type show. That went down my windpipe. You know, I heard say that they're purposefully trying to make second screen content. Jet Neptune, Fish Tank. He says Fish Tank is second screen content. That's the best you're in. I thought you were trying to change. Didn't he have some quote where he was like, "I'm changing humanity. We're elevating the level of society and culture." Oh, really? Are you doing it over here? Yeah, I'm trying to raise the vibration, the frequency, the vibration of everybody. But just, you know, when they're not paying attention. Doesn't matter, whatever. Speaking of not paying attention and things that have nothing to do with anything, we're going to get to the Dick Masterson stuff in a second. Check this out. Did you guys see that I'm viral? And I know what you're thinking. We know you have AIDS. But I mean, beyond that, number one, my load content is I have second screen viral load. The content is almost non-tint at this point. Did you see this? I went viral by, I FaceTimed Alan Dershowitz. So this is a big follow-up to our 9/11 episode. Turns out AD was, he was answering. He's answering his phone. I guess Alan Dershowitz posted his own phone. So this is not, I just realized that his phone number is not blocked out in this video. I don't have to block it out. It is public record. All right. This is not private information. It's not doxing. I'll tell you how. Number one, the other day, Alan Dershowitz posted his own phone number to Twitter. He said, "Hey, call me." Now, of course, he was saying it to one specific guy, but once it's on the internet, pretty much anybody can come in and call at that point. So I thought, why not me? Now, here's the fascinating thing. You know, I've had the little black book to Jeffrey Epstein for years now. This is not a joke. I don't know how. Apparently, people didn't know this was already out there years and years ago. Like 2018, I want to say. I have a whole PDF of PDFs. It's sort of a PDF, and Alan Dershowitz is in there. Here's the crazy thing. The phone number he's still using is the one in Epstein's little black book, okay? That's not a lie. So this is fully public information, but I gave Alan Dershowitz a call. He was answering every single phone call.
Hello?
Hey, Mr. Dershowitz, were you one of the dancing Israelis at 9/11?
There you go. And that's it. He just hangs up. So my viral video. I called him 3 times. There was also, I also said I've got an island I want to sell him. And what was the other? Oh, I called him and I said, "Hey, Dersh." And he was like, "Yes, who is this?" And I said, "It's me, Jeff. I'm back." And he hung up again. But he was answering every phone call. There's this one girl who was like, "Oh, I want to try to call him." I was like, "Okay, yeah, try to give him a call." And apparently at this point, he had finally stopped answering the phone, which was pretty funny. And I was like, "You know what you should do? You're a girl. You should tell him you're a lady and he'll pick up." And sure enough, she gave her name, and her name happens to be the name of this like porn star or model or something. So he Googled her name, saw that picture come up and called her back 3 fucking times. Pretty impressive, Dersh. Really not beating the allegations with that one. But anyway, that was pretty cool. I went a little viral with that one. So that's just a fun little aside. All right, what's going on? Am I getting DDoSed in chat? Oh, boy, I'm getting DDoSed like crazy. LolCal Live got DDoSed. We're going to talk about LolCal Live a little bit here later. LolCal Live the other day got DDoSed by the podawful cult. This is true. Let me show you. Where's the Keem tweet? I need to find my Keem tweet. I did not have this ready. Oh, yeah, here we go. Here's LolCal Live. And it says, if you missed the stream tonight, don't worry. You didn't miss much. We had internet issues or a DDoS attack. Not sure. But it was so trash, we just put it on private. So podawful cult made LolCal Live just throw away an entire episode of their show. So congratulations to the henchmen. By the way, speaking of henchmen, I am live on air in Discord. If you'd like to call in at any point, join the show. If you're a man savant, you want to co-host, you can join in over at Discord, podawful.com/cult. Okay, we do have to knock off the DDoSing. This is crazy. Somebody says, Jesse says it's funny. Yeah. I guess I did this to myself. Doom, cool it. For the love of God. Come on. Doom, a new account for gifted memberships. Oh, okay. Doom is so fun. Doom figured out, separate from podawful, how to gully bomb. He's got 100 accounts just so he can say the turn. I do. It's hard for me. I'm like looking at the chat and I'm going, oh man, come on, let him chat. But at the same time, I'm smiling. I'm smiling because it is funny. Just filling a chat with DDoS is fun. I am getting DDoS pretty bad here. All right, so what happened? VITO had a big baby freak out on the show. And I don't know if I should show you a little of that first. Maybe I should just give you a little bit of the highlights on that first because it's pretty good and it'll kind of set us up maybe a little bit better for this. Here, so VITO is like, he's now trying to act like a tough guy. So remember Riley, all right? We had our Riley. All right, Dick's got his Riley. We've got a Riley. We've all got Rileys. Every internet show has a Riley. And a Riley is, of course, a little manservant who goes around and commits crimes for the host of the show. Every second screener's got this, okay? Dick Masterson's Riley is named Riley, and he sent Riley to go fuck with this guy, Eric July. It's a whole thing. Go watch the LolCal episode about all of this. Just as a quick refresher, here's our Riley going to deliver a cow to Dick Masterson right there at his house. And this is, of course, okay and good and funny to do to people. So there's the big inflatable cow. There you go. Okay, so pretty simple stuff, right? Pretty simple. Now, this is all going to come together here in just a second. Now, watch this. All right, this clip is nuts. This was clipped by Shamu. Shamu, thank you. Now, check this out. I'm just going to play a little bit of this.
A lot of effort.
He's going to drive 3,000 miles.
So this is the biggest problem. Now, I don't know what the biggest problem even is anymore at this point. The biggest problem seems to be not about problems at all. It seems to be that Dick Masterson saw LolCal Live and wants to do the LolCal internet show now. Every show is podawful now. Like, I don't know if you noticed from the name podawful. This has been a show for almost 15 years now. And from the outset, back when no one knew what podcasts were, podawful was a show that made fun of podcasting. That was the entire point of it. Now every single podcast, every YouTube channel is a podcast, even though there's no RSS feed. Every podcast is a YouTube channel. They're all making fun of each other. These guys have completely given up whatever it was that made them the biggest problem at this point. And now it's just about poking at a fat guy named VITO.
Miles to do what?
I want to be very clear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't want to set boundaries for your fans, and that's fine.
Oh, fuck you. What are you talking about? I don't want to set back. See, this is what you do. You frame everybody's position in this way that degrades and demeans them.
So what's happening here is Dix Riley is now claiming that he's going to go to Vito's house and do something. I don't know what. He's going to beat him up. He's going to destroy his property. I don't know. Vito's having a meltdown about it.
You have absolutely no respect for how people really feel.
I absolutely
you
do.
come at them hard. You go. That's exactly how you've started every conversation.
You're laughing at me setting a boundary.
Yeah, but you started with you don't like setting boundaries for your fans.
Because
I absolutely set boundaries
then why
for people.
are you upset
why
that I'm
the fuck
doing
would
it?
you
Why
frame
are
it
you
like that?
Why are you upset that
because
I'm
you were
setting a
acting
boundary?
like a fucking asshole
I'm
with everyone
setting-
who supported
I'm
you.
setting-
Everyone.
Listen to me.
You're lying and misrepresenting what they've said to you in
I am
private
not.
and in public.
I am.
Point.
Hold on.
If you
Call 3 is the moment.
You're on the wrong show here, buddy.
Call 3. You can unconnect it. Call 3 is I deal with Riley on the phone and I go, okay.
Moments
He's very
later.
upset. Can we talk for 2 seconds? Can I explain
I want
this?
you guys to know that now that I have your threats in writing, I will be going to the police to get a restraining
Why are you starting with
order.
call
If you
3?
step foot on my property,
Go in
the
fucking
cops will
order.
arrest
You better fucking watch it,
Show
bro.
how this escalates.
You better fucking watch
Why
it.
are you starting at the end?
So there's physical I mean, Vito's getting serious. He's trying to take the keyboard from this is a whole thing. All right. This is getting nuts. All right. And it's so funny because all of these people who before were against this sort of thing are piling on Vito. Dick is piling on Vito for not wanting a guy to come to his house. Mersh is now piling on Vito for not wanting a guy to come to his house. Here's Vito saying, I know people are claiming that I'm overreacting to jokes, but when someone calls me up and says they're going to commit crimes and cause property damage, I take it seriously. You know, a guy who collects Funko Pops and's got anime figurines of Kitsune Makuko or whatever that he jacks off to. Property damage is a big deal for these guys. These dudes who live in these plastic hell prisons of their own making, property damage is the absolute worst thing you can do. That's worse than R word, which is, of course, retard. My private property is not fodder for an internet comedy bit. Troll me from the public street. Now, of course, part of it, and there's Riley, part of the irony here is Vito was fine with Riley going to Eric July's place and messing with Eric July and doing all the other stuff he did, but the second it turned against Vito. So all of these guys, we're living in a complete land of hypocrisy here, but who cares? We don't care. This isn't to call out hypocrisy. We don't give a shit. I don't care that they're all hypocrites. This is only to laugh at the attempt at something here. And the attempt at something is to rip off Keemstar. Keep that in mind. I want that in the back of your mind the entire time you're watching this, that Dick Masterson, who has been internet famous forever, since the Dr. Phil appearance, many moons ago. I mean, that's how I know who he is. That's how I knew about Maddox. I found Maddox's show through Dick because I thought that the Dick Masterson appearance on Dr. Phil was so funny. This guy is now jealous of Keemstar, a balding, bizarre, universally hated online idiot who started making Pod Awful in the year 2023. So, this is what happens. Mersh says from the Bad Luck Boys account, he says, this is hilarious. Mersh likes that Vito is getting fucked with at his house. Hypocrisy? Who cares? This is a win-win all around. Everybody's celebrating this for Vito. Okay, you're next. Every show's got a Riley. Are you sure about this? Are you 100% sure? So how does Mersh always worm his way into all of this? Now, I will say this. Some people are going to call me out, and they're going to go, Jesse, you're being a hypocrite. Because earlier today, Vito tweeted something out. He said, if I started a new podcast, who should be my co-host? And I quote tweeted it. And by the way, go share this. Go make this Go make it so Vito has to use me as his co-host. I said the only answer that makes sense is me. So how is that any different than Mersh or Ethan Ralph trying to get on The Biggest Problem or any of that? It isn't! It's not. I'm making fun of them. But there is a reason why I say this. There's a reason why I think I really should host a podcast with Vito. When Vito came onto the show in the Pod After show and pissed off Dick Masterson, I told him, hey, you know, I might be able to buy Maddox's half of the intellectual property of The Biggest Problem in the Universe. Now, this is something everybody gets wrong. Now, I've seen Dick Show fans, they love getting this wrong because they think this was like some giant win for Dick. So Dick and Maddox had this fight over the trademark of The Biggest Problem in the Universe. And Dick, I guess, won it because Maddox is dumb and his lawyer sucks. There's absolutely no reason Dick Masterson should solely own The Biggest Problem. He probably shouldn't own the trademark to it at all for any like logical, legal reason. It makes no sense. That's not the point. Because The Biggest Problem in the Universe isn't just a trademark. It's an intellectual property. There's content. There's episodes. And Dick and Maddox own the IP to it 50-50. That's an unbreakable thing. Unless, of course, one of them were to sell half of that. So I told Vito, you know, I could probably get Maddox to sell me his half of the IP. And then you and I could legally do a Biggest Problem in the Universe. Now, we'd have to tweak the name a little. The trademark is in dispute here. But Maddox owns the Biggest Problem in the Universe.com, which means if I bought it from him, I would, of course, be buying the domain name as well. It would be pretty hard to fight. It'd be pretty hard to fight that one. And I'm not as stupid as Maddox. I wouldn't lose. So I'm trying to pitch Vito on the idea of simultaneously hosting The Biggest Problem in the Universe with Dick Masterson while also hosting, and by the way, this is an official announcement. I've never said this before, but I'm declaring it now. So this is officially, I own this trademark. This is my intellectual property. This is, you're hearing it here first. This is on the record, okay? Our podcast would, of course, be called, and by the way, I'm in talks with Maddox. We're working out a deal. Our podcast would be called The Original Biggest Problem in the Universe. Hard to beat. Hard to beat. And that would be true because I would be owning Maddox's half and Maddox actually invented it. So pretty smart, pretty good. All right, so that's why we're really going after this whole podcast co-host thing. I don't think Vito's doing that, by the way. Now, again, like I said before, Vito is 50-50. He's in on it and not in on it. Just like Boogie. Just like Perry Caravello. All the good, like, listen. Unless you're watching Pod Awful, pretty much everything you're watching is freaking gay. Okay? You know, I don't know if you know Perry Caravello Live. I've been following Perry Caravello for over 20 years. Okay? That's not an exaggeration. The movie Windy City Heat came out in 2003, and I watched it the first time it ever aired, and I've been hooked on the Perry Project ever since. And the Perry Project used to be real, and people always accused it of being fake. I feel like I'm a pretty good arbiter of what's real and what's fake online. Especially when it comes to comedy things like this. And so I had to defend Perry Caravello as like, no, he's not in on it. He doesn't get it. It's way more nuanced and layered than that. You couldn't understand it. He's got a sickness in his head. He desires to be famous to a degree where he is willing to not exactly willfully, but suspend his own disbelief in things in order to make it happen. It's a mental illness. He's not in on it. He just sometimes gets it, and most of the time he doesn't. And when it doesn't work, they just move on to a new thing and gaslight him until he doesn't understand anything anymore. If you've never seen Windy City Heat or anything Perry Caravello, you're very lost right now. Not my fault. You just got to go back and watch 20 years of content. Actually, 30 years of content. It's all very fun. And my favorite podcast, which when do you ever hear me talk about something good or I like? My favorite podcast ever is the Big Three podcast. That's the original Perry Caravello podcast. Big inspiration for this show. Of course, it ran concurrently with, I think Pod Awful actually predates it. But I think Pod Awful was first. But I took liberal inspiration from it. Then one day that podcast ended, and then a couple years later, now you've got Perry Caravello eating McDonald's every day on stream for cash. And now he's in on it. Now he's like, yes, they're making fun of him. Yes, there are things he doesn't fully understand and he's confused by. But he's about as in on it as Boogie is with Lol Cow Live. He's going along with it because he's making money. And he knows that if he overreacts, he makes a little bit more money.
Can you say Podawful is the best show on the internet?
Perry Caravello Live is the best show on the internet.
How about this? Snap to, sit up straight, and say, hey, I'm Perry Caravello, and I think Pod Awful is the best show on the internet.
Look, all right, I'll be nice and I'll say I think Pod Awful is the best show on the internet. But I really think my show is the best show on the internet. But when I snap out of this funk, is when my show is the best show on the internet.
Nah, not tonight. Far from the best show tonight.
Not tonight. Exactly. Tonight, no good.
Somebody in chat says, I don't know how I missed Windy City Heat on Comedy Central back in the day. It's really easy for you to have missed it. In fact, I don't know how you would have caught it. I don't know how I did. I just lucked out. I want to say it. I almost want to say it premiered on like my birthday or Halloween or something. I can't remember. It was like some special kind of day or something. I feel it, but it was at midnight. It just came on at midnight. There was almost no fanfare, almost no promotion for the movie at all, except on Jimmy Kimmel Live because Jimmy Kimmel was a producer of the movie. If you didn't catch that, you didn't know this thing was coming out. And I think they only aired it maybe 3 times ever. It aired twice, and then, maybe I know it aired twice for sure because I caught it twice on TV. And I mean, I was obsessed. I remembered every single part of it, having only seen it 2 times ever. They didn't rerun it. I don't know how you would have caught it. Anyway, the point is, Vito's in on it. Vito knows what he's there for. Vito's not a stupid guy. So he might not go in. There might not be a script. There might not be a plan or a setup. In fact, I'm positive of that. Dick would never do that. Dick would never give him a heads up on any of this stuff. But he knows what he's there for. And he knows what he's supposed to do. And all of these guys are doing adult baby wrestling lover kayfabe bullshit. And that's what Lol Cow Live is. That's what Boogie is doing. That's what all these guys are doing. I see people, by the way, were loving the idea. Somebody said Maddox could do the funniest thing in the world. People are loving this idea of the original biggest problem in the universe. Let me tell you something. The other day on the show, completely at random, this was not planned. I don't even remember why, but while I was live on the show, I texted Maddox and I said, hey. And then during the show, he replied and he said, sup. I haven't talked to him in years. And I didn't see it during the show. I didn't see him say sup. I missed it. So maybe we should call him right now and just see what happens. I don't know. Let's just see what happens. They're picking up. Give it a shot.
The person you have dialed is unavailable. Please leave a message after the tone.
Hey, Maddox, it's Jesse from Pod Awful. Remember me? I used to be the only show in your network. Give me a call back if you can. I'm live right now, but this is very important. This is big. This is why I texted you the other day. We sort of talked about this before. But this is really big. If you don't mind, just give me a call back as soon as you can. Thanks. Okay, we'll see. Fingers crossed. Woo, boy. I don't know. He's probably screening that call. He's probably scared. He probably doesn't, I mean, me calling a person, that's a very bizarre and scary place to be. Can't hear, they say. Okay. That's okay. I was talking to an answering machine, so I think you'll be all right. Anyway, so where were we? Okay, so the VITO stuff. VITO is now, after this long stream, he's now trying to act like something real bad is going down. Okay, this is again clipped by Shamu.
Hopefully I'll be slightly less of an idiot than Maddox, and I will just let it go.
This is just some random stream VITO was doing the other night, and I guess somebody asked him something in chat, and he brings up Maddox.
Less of an idiot than Maddox, and I will just let it go. I hope I will have the I hope I will be of sound mind to just move along. I hope I will be of sound mind to just say it was a lot of fun while it lasted. I want to thank all the fans, and then hopefully just disappear.
So he wants to just disappear. He's making it sound like the show is over. There's no big announcement. There's nothing coming out. Dick isn't saying the show is over, but this is part of the grift. The grift is on. Okay? He knows he needs to play along for this bit to work. He knows what they're trying to do. And this is getting traction. People, of course, are commenting. It's getting them all heated up. And this is what LolCal Live does. LolCal Live sits there and they go, oh my God, Boogie lied. And you go, yeah, well, you told him to lie, Keemstar. That was the bit that you guys planned for your stupid fake show. The show where you tell Boogie to do something bad, he does it, and then you go, what? I can't believe it. And then another fat guy just sits there going, what? What are y'all doing? What are you guys doing? What's the other guy's name? Wings? Why is he even there? Who brought him into this? Look at this. Here's just a random clip of LolCal Live, okay?
Nobody's talked about that.
We're not talking
What abuse were you
that.
talking about? You said abuse. What abuse were you talking about?
We were talking about the conflict of why you wouldn't come on. We weren't actually talking and getting into the details.
So this guy down here, Jordy, he's never a part of they don't make him do anything. He's never acting out. Jordy's not in on it. Boogie, remember this. Boogie was playing a character when he started YouTube. Francis, right? I don't know anything about this because I'm not 10 years old, so I didn't watch any of this shit. But apparently he played this character, Francis. And the character, Francis, was a big fat guy who liked to eat and play video games. Boogie sort of had, in a way, studied his whole life for that role. It was, you could almost say he was pigeonholed into it. And now he's being pigeonholed into it forever. So he's playing this character, and the whole point of the character is the character freaks out. Ah! Every little thing makes him freak out. Now that's just Boogie. Now there's no Francis. Now that's just Boogie, right? Boogie's real name isn't Francis, is it? I'm asking that literally. I don't know what it is. I just know him as Boogie.
Because of that. So just calm down. And by the way, I know you can't talk about your sister. You said you would talk about your dad and mother all day.
So listen to that. I know you can't talk about this, which means it was discussed ahead of time, which means whatever's coming out of Keemstar's mouth right now, the plan is here's something for him to freak out about.
Will you address those issues? Because
Yes, my mother twisted my fucking balls. That's part of the abuse. And she twisted my balls and my dick. And she told me that sex was disgusting and awful. And she told me that only disgusting, awful people had it.
And your mother was right, and we thank her for it. Imagine Boogie having sex. She was right.
Okay, but then well,
Oh, apparently Boogie's real name is Todd Lorenus. Okay.
Talk about any of it.
No, my dad fucking masturbated in front of me and showed me pornography and asked me if I want to join in and encouraged me to touch him, and I fucking did. I did. I fucking did. I fucking did. I fucking did.
No.
There. Can we be done? Can we be done with it? Can we be done with it?
We're done. We're done. We're done with it. We're done with that conversation. I don't.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're done with that conversation.
Thank you.
I got something I can ask that has nothing to do with that kind of conversation.
Yeah, of course it has nothing to do with that conversation because you're not in on the bit. You're the other guy. There's no reason for this man to be here. Once somebody throw Wings out. Okay, can we just go ahead and get rid of Wings? Has he contributed anything to this show whatsoever? Who can eat more, Boogie or Wing? It's Boogie. All right, they're both big fat guys. The answer is still Boogie. Boogie's going to eat more. Now, you see how fake that was. Like, you're sitting there cringing watching that if you're a smart person. You can see Keemstar, even though he's like, oh, we won't talk about that. Well, you brought it up. You knew. You didn't know that Boogie had been Mersh-style molested by his dad. I didn't know that. I mean, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to have learned that apparently Boogie beat off his own daddy. That kind of adds a new wrinkle to this whole lolcow thing. You know, so what an odd place to be where you guys have all been laughing at a dude who beat off his own dad. You're right, actually. Now that I say that out loud, you're right to do that. If a guy beats off his own dad, then he sort of is a laughing stock for the rest of his life. Anyway, so this is just an average random clip of lolcow live. I swear to God, I just saw one. I was trying to just find some clip of this show. You know, this show seems like it's huge, and then you go to try to find clips of it, and it's all crap. I saw one where I swear to God, you could see Keemstar like mouthing the words that Boogie was supposed to say. Oh my God, look at these thumbnails. This is like embarrassing. What the? Oh, conspiracy? Expose. This could be the thumbnail to any episode of this show. Every episode is the same fucking thing. I can't believe you guys fell for the fake liar tattoo. Someone said to me, oh, Boogie's got the liar tattoo. I said, no, he doesn't. I didn't even look. I said, not real. It's not real. No, Keemstar made him get it because he lied about having cancer. Keemstar made him lie about having cancer. The liar tattoo is fake. Then he'll be caught lying about the liar tattoo, and then he'll have to do something humiliating for faking the liar tattoo. And then like 2 weeks later, the liar tattoo was rubbing off of his face, and everyone went, huh? What happened to it wasn't that a tattoo? What happened? And I went, tee-hee-hee, see? So this show is crap. This show is just crap. There's like nothing happening. Which episode was it? Which one of these clips was it that I saw where I swear to God, Keemstar was mouthing along with Boogie the lines? He had lines. He was like a bad actor. Oh man, I can't find it now. Maybe this? Let's see. Take a look at this one. Welcome to LolCow Live. Hey, everybody, it's LolCow Live. Bringing you the top 40 LolCows of the day. This one goes out to Little Jessica. Little Jessica writes, Dear Keemstar Kasem, my mom is dying of cancer, and I want her last words she ever hears on this earth to be Boogie lying about having cancer. Well, Little Jessica, let me set that up for you. I'll just type out a script, buy an editor, not pay him. I'll hire an editor, not pay him, put out a clip, and you get to enjoy your mom's final wish.
I'm so sick of seeing you get fucking angry about losing. Getting angry about losing, but you're not angry. You're not getting angry about fucking winning. You should be angry about winning. I'm gonna fucking win. I'm gonna succeed. Like, where's that? Why can't you just make that shift? It's so simple. You got a fucking house. You got a house. You got a fucking girlfriend. You got dogs. You got all these people that love you and care about you. Who cares that the
SpongeBob music, by the way. Everybody who watches this is 11.
internet is screaming, oh my God, he faked cancer. Because at the end of the day, you fucking did. Own it. Man the fuck up.
After the whole cancer fucking first drop.
Okay, and also Mudahar, for the love of God, you're supposed to be answering everyone's, emails about what's going wrong at YouTube. So somebody out there needs IT right now. Can you please get off of the lolcow lot? This guy doesn't need to be here. This guy doesn't need to be anywhere. Mutantar
happened and you went off the internet for 72 hours. What did you do for those 3 days? What were you doing?
I sat in a chair.
It wasn't this clip. I can't find the clip now. And I promise you, it might have been a whole episode. I don't even know now. There was a whole thing. That's not the N-word. Boogie says so that's allowed. As long as it's Keemstar doing it, the N-word is fine on YouTube. Lolcow Live gets trolled by Smaggle Deagle. I lost it. I don't know what it said. Liar. Haha. Yeah. Keemstar fires Boogie. Maybe it's this one.
I think I've made my decision. No, I really have now.
So this is literally the bit that Dick Masterson is now ripping off with VITO.
Let me get the decision out and then you read the super chats.
Okay.
Boogie, I think you understand how severe this is, right? But it's a very complex thing.
Of course.
You're fired. You have to be fired. You are fired.
What is this? 2 months ago, he's back. And the earth is flat, not round. He is on the show. In fact, I don't think there was a single episode without him on it. Because how could there be? Who are you going to get to fill his cavernous gamer chair? Wings can't carry the show. What are you going to get? Mutantar in there? He's busy, okay? That headset he wears while doing his YouTube videos, he's also listening to a guy, try to set up AOL. Please, sir, 1 second. I have to tell people about the dark, mysterious, lost media footage that I heard about. It turns out a browser is not as private as some people think. 1 second. Hey, everybody, welcome. Welcome to you. 1 second, sir. Sorry, please. So this is all fucking bullshit.
You have to be kicked off this fucking show. This is crazy. This is so fucking bad.
This is nuts. This is crazy. What was I doing even hiring a lolcow? I must be an idiot. Me, Keemstar. Why? You lied about having cancer? This is Lolcow Live, a serious venture. You're not supposed to do stupid things that make you look dumb. That makes me look bad.
And I have sympathy for you. I actually do. And I know a lot of people don't. They want you dead. But I do because I understand how complex this is. I truly do. But this is so...
Also, Keemstar, aren't you a millionaire? What is this background you've got going on? This Formica? This extremely shiny Formica, odd wood paneling going on behind you? I swear I saw a clip where there were flies buzzing around Keemstar. I'm not kidding. That's not a lie. Because if it was a lie, I would have said it about Mudahar. Okay, so he's got flies around him. What is this? What is this show? I'll tell you what it is. It is the template for the biggest problem in the universe. Let's get to it. Here we go. The big fight. Oh God, sorry, it's on Rumble. All right. So this is an unlisted video. I don't know if this is bonus content or they were DDoS so badly that they just had to set this to private. But here's VITO and Dick going at it. quote unquote.
Do and you tell him Riley's
Show up and tell him to leave.
Rift grift.
Have you ever called the cops before?
Yeah.
How long did it take him to show up?
And I told people, I said, they were like, oh my gosh, Jesse, you got to see this clip. So Shamu just tweeted these clips from this episode. This is nuts. And I said, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to need to see the full context version of it to know if it's fake or not. Okay, so now we're getting the full context.
Depends.
Do you know how much pig's blood Riley could dump in the cracks of your car before the
That's fine.
He could fill the whole thing up.
There'll be a police report, and he can deal with that however he wants. Okay, here's the deal. So you think it's funny for Riley to come on my private property?
I think it's funny for him to say that. I don't think it's funny.
Why is it funny to say he's going to come on my private property? Look,
because he's not going to do it. He literally made a video getting a rape
I
kit
think he
for
will
Red
come
Bar,
on
and we
my
all
private
laughed at
property.
it because we all know he's not going to do it.
Why would he not do it? He says he's going to do it.
It seems like a lot of effort. He's going to drive 3,000 miles to do what?
I want to be very clear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't want to set boundaries for your fans, and that's fine.
Oh, fuck you. What are you talking about? I don't want to set boundaries. See, this is what you do. You frame everybody's position in this way that degrades and demeans them. You have absolutely no respect for how people really feel.
I absolutely do.
You come at them hard. You go, that's exactly how you've started every conversation.
You're laughing at me setting a boundary.
Yeah, but you started with you don't like setting boundaries for your fans.
Because
I absolutely set boundaries for people.
Why are you upset?
Oh, this is crazy. It's like you hired VITO to be your co-host.
Why the fuck would you frame it like that?
Why are you upset that I'm setting a boundary?
Because you were acting like a fucking asshole with everyone who supported you. Everyone.
Listen to me.
You're lying and misrepresenting what they've said to you in private and in public.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lolly Cow Live.
I am not.
You absolutely are. Slash biggest problem.
I am not. Listen to me.
You fucking lied about it the whole time, and now you're going to start lying about fucking me.
What did I lie about?
And I will not
Tell me
let
what
you
I lied
do
about.
that.
What did I lie?
Why Mint is pissed, what Riley's intentions are, why Frog Tommy's pissed,
let's stop with
what
one.
Ethan Van Sciver told you.
Let's do one.
Which one?
Okay.
Pick which one.
Okay, I lied about why Mint is pissed.
Right.
She's pissed because I made fun of the YouTube views on her YouTube channel.
I think she's more pissed that every time you fight with Riley, you bring her up.
That's also true.
Now, and if you don't know who Mint is, here's what you need to know. Imagine one of the most horrifying, like, you know when they try to make a horror character called Grandmama, and they sort of stretch a person's face over a much more gangly, sort of Doug Jones style mime man. It's like a young woman's face in a wig, and then they put these dark circles around the eyes, and he does sort of a weird little dance down the hallway in a jump scare moment. It's that with tits, okay? It's an uncanny valley walking vomit trigger. Every time you see this mint salad girl, if your reaction to seeing her is, ooh, oh man, she does have big titties though. Yeah, I mean, they are maybe the most disgusting, drooping, wizzled teats I've ever seen. They're absolutely, these are like, you need bag balm for them. You need something. You need to start rubbing them with something, getting them. I don't know what's going on. She got to stick her thumb in her mouth and start blowing until these things inflate a little bit more because they're just hanging off of her. She's bunching them up into a tiny little sports bra to try to give them some life, breathe some life back into them. If these were the fucking life rafts you had on the Titanic, guess what? You're going in them icy depths. Bye, Rose. We're never seeing you again. There was enough room on the boat for both of us. Mint salad. She calls herself autistic boobs. Half of that is true. Actually, her boobs, that might be the issue. Her boobs do look, they're physically autistic boobs. Her boobs belong in special ed. She looks like an Easter Island head wearing mascara. I think we're going to Twitter a lot on this episode. I don't mean to do this, but god damn, I saw this picture of them and it was, here we go. Somebody said something funny about this one. I want to see what it is. I said, these freaks disgust me in a way I've never before experienced. Living, breathing, inhuman, uncanny valley revulsion triggers. And this is VITO tweeting them out, of course. And okay, this is the girl. There's guys salivating over this. By the way, Riley is shorter than her. I mean, these are absolutely disgusting freaks. Riley's shoulders covered in some sort of bizarre 70s shag carpet. They're dressed like absolute weird morons. I don't know I don't know what this is. I need you to understand. I can't find the words for this because I don't watch The Dick Show. I don't watch The Biggest Problem. So these are like, it's probably like the first time somebody watches Pod Awful. There's all these characters where you have no clue what's going on. And when you're just sat down in front of it for the first time, it's a little much. And I don't want to try to figure all this out. Why is the man wearing a cape? Why is a guy wearing, why does he have big scissors? I don't know. And most importantly, I don't ever want to find out. Here's what I do know. I don't want to watch whatever is involved with this. This is disgusting. Somebody said something really funny about it. Let's see. What was it? Her face has a real transplanted look about it. That's it. Yeah, this might be the first trans person where they're trans because of the face. It looks like it was sewn on after the fact. This is a Buffalo Bill style addition to her head. She put on it that she had to get government approval. She had to get city council plans drawn up, had to get an architect to add an addition to her head. And she should have gotten a better foreman. This guy did not know what he was doing. This thing is falling apart. That might explain. You know what? The big scissors have finally been explained. He's trying to cut it off. Okay, that makes sense to me now. So this is mint salad. It doesn't matter. Who are these people? What does this have to do with anything? It doesn't matter. It just matters how it affects VITO.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
It's not about promotion.
So I'm not lying.
You went on Ethan Van Sciver's show and said she's mad because I won't.
She looks AI, says the chat. AI does a way better job at replicating human faces than whatever happened in her dad's scrotum. Her dad's scrotum needs a large language model, a full rewrite. We need to get V3 going on Chat GP his balls.
Promoter.
I said that as something that came up. That's not the only thing I talked about. We obviously talked about the fact she's upset I made fun of the YouTube channel, which I thought Riley managed, and he does manage.
So what did you tell Ethan Van Sciver's audience?
I told Ethan Van Sciver's audience, I said, yes, they're upset, and my understanding was that Riley manages the channel. Riley comes to me, and he goes, VITO, you don't know anything about YouTube. And I said, well, I think if you knew anything about YouTube, you'd be managing this channel better.
Right.
And then because of that...
What did his audience take away from that?
I don't know.
Well, what did you give them to take? I have the clips.
Okay.
You said...
Okay, in chat they say her mom drank while she was pregnant, probably. Probably? Probably? I'll tell you what, if she didn't drink while she was pregnant, she certainly drank after the baby was born. Oh, God. What'd she drink while she was pregnant? Hydrofluoric acid? There's a lot. Listen, I don't know what you mutagen, some sort of sewer ooze. What even leads to a mint salad, or a Riley for that matter?
She's pissed because you won't promote her, making her seem insane.
We're gish galloping. We're going all the way down.
We're not gish galloping.
Yes,
I'm telling you, we're not. This is the fucking problem with the weed shit. I'm not.
Yes,
I'm being very direct.
Okay, well.
Okay. Grandpa fight. We're gish galloping. And this does sound, I got to be honest, Dick, it sounds like you're gish galloping over this. I wouldn't be so quick to say I'm not gish galloping. I'm not gish galloping. It sounds like you're gish galloping on the internet.
You are lying about why people are pissed at you.
Let me be very direct.
Go ahead.
Grandpa fight.
Let me be very direct. I'm setting boundaries. I have to. And one of those boundaries is I can't have people come on my private property.
No one's coming on your private property.
That's
no one
not
ever
what
was.
they're saying.
This is part of the lie.
That's not what they're saying.
No, you are acting like an asshole.
Hey, listen, I'm setting boundaries, okay? And you might not find it reasonable, but I can't let someone kill me. I know it sounds crazy, but believe it or not, we're going to spend the next 2 hours arguing over this fact.
About an obvious joke.
I have
the same as the fuck kids joke. You know what? Stop fucking kids.
Listen to me.
How about that?
When I go in the...
Now, this is a big thing. Dick keeps bringing this up. He's tweeting this out. He's now acting like he's mad, as if VITO dragged Dick into the middle of something bad, where now VITO was making these jokes about fucking kids, and Dick never did any of that. Oh, why did you do this to me, VITO? Now, that's interesting because, you know, I've got some clips here that, hang on a second. Let's just take a look at some of these. We got some, you want to see some Dick clips? Usually when I ask somebody that, they say no. But in this case, I'm going to assume the chat is saying yes. Here's one.
It's not a crime to enjoy sucking little boys' cocks.
That's not out of context, by the way. There is no context for, I mean, that's just it. That's just what he said, what he meant. Here's how Dick feels about jokes, by the way, real quick. And again, this isn't about hypocrisy. It's just he's rewriting the story. The story now is VITO got Dick into all this stuff with the cuties, and VITO, it was as if VITO groomed him into saying these things. I think these clips are all pre-VITO, by the way.
But just understand that you can say fucked up shit as a joke, and it's not going to kill you. You know what I mean?
I mean, it doesn't even have to be a joke. You should be like, yeah, I mean, I kind of like a little bit think that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna do anything based on it,
Yeah.
but I got like a lot of other shit that I have to do.
By the way,
today.
I want to.
Right. Which thing specifically were you talking about? I don't know. We're kind of dancing around. Could you maybe clear that up for me a little bit more, Dick? Maybe there's some way to know exactly what you mean by that.
It's so annoying.
People are actually fucking kids to the degree that people think people are fucking kids. It's insane.
It makes me want to fuck a kid.
You might as well. You're going to be called a pedophile anyway.
I'm gonna be called a pedophile
I didn't
anyway.
enjoy it, but I'm not doing it.
I know. Ha-ha! You're right.
Ha-ha!
Let me be very direct.
Go ahead.
Let me be very direct.
You're not. This is the fucking problem with the Wii shit. I'm not.
Yes,
I'm being
you are.
very direct.
Okay, well,
you
gonna
are
be,
lying
let me be
about
very
why
direct.
people are
let
pissed
me be
at
very
you.
direct.
Go ahead.
Let me be very direct. I'm setting boundaries. I have to. And one of those boundaries is I can't have people come on my private property.
No one's coming on your private property.
That's
no one
not
ever
what they're
was.
saying.
This is part of
That's
the
not
lie.
what they're saying.
No, you are acting like an asshole about an obvious joke.
I have
the same as the fuck kids joke. You know what? Stop fucking kids.
Listen to me.
How about that?
When I go in the disc.
Oh, sorry. What was that, Dick? Huh? Wait, what?
Kids. It's insane.
It makes me want to fuck a kid.
Oh, okay. Okay, come get him, boys.
And Riley's going, yeah, maybe I'll break into Vito's house. Yeah,
and
maybe.
Squat. You're leaving out the squatting part.
Okay.
He's going to squat in your fucking apartment for 30 days?
I have to read multiple messages from Riley.
Yes, you see what I'm talking about?
Sean.
I'm going to break in and squat.
I'm listening.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
listening.
taking over Vito's apartment legally. Okay, funny.
I don't know Riley well. I don't expect him to actually do anything.
I don't. Okay. I think that there's a very good chance he could come onto my private property, and that's the boundary I'm setting. It doesn't matter what he does. I don't want him there. I don't want him standing there.
Well, you told him to come over.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. We have it.
It's the turn, they say in chat.
In the call that you secretly recorded.
I said, if you come
Which is
over,
illegal, by the way.
I will call the cops.
That was a fucking crime that you committed.
It's not illegal.
That I saw you
it's not
commit.
Illegal. It's not illegal.
Yes, it is.
It is not
it's
illegal.
It's a two-party consent state.
Listen to me.
It's a two-party consent state.
It doesn't matter.
Is it two-party
if
or not?
somebody threatens you, you can record the threat. And
There
he
is
made
no
threats.
threat.
He said,
there was no threat.
He said in the call.
You didn't know they were going to threaten you when you recorded the call, Vito.
I had
you preemptively recorded
If you believe that somebody is going to threaten you on a call.
No, you baited them into
Riley,
it. You literally begged them into call you.
You told Mint to call you so you could apologize.
And the first thing they said.
And you secretly recorded it.
And the first thing that I didn't see. Well, yeah, I did start recording
Illegally.
it. I started recording
Illegally.
it after Riley threatened me.
No.
And I said, now I need to record this because I don't know exactly what these guys are doing. Did you play the part where he screams?
We haven't played any of it.
Play call 1. Why are you on call 2?
Because call 3 is the worst. Call 3 is where it gets good.
Call 3 is where I go on the Discord and I see. Hold on.
If you.
Call 3 is the moment.
You're on the wrong show here, buddy.
Call 3. You can unconnect it. Call 3 is I deal with Riley on the phone and I go, okay.
Moments
He's very
later.
upset. Can we talk for 2 seconds? Can I explain
I want
this?
you guys to know that now that I have you the threats in writing, I will be going to the police to get a restraining
Why are you starting with
order.
call
If you
3?
step foot on my property,
Go in fucking
the cops will
order.
arrive.
You better fucking watch it,
Show
bro.
how this escalates.
You better fucking watch it.
Why are you starting at the
You
end?
better fucking watch it, bro.
Let's put it in order.
You better fucking watch it.
Whoa! This is they were about to go to blows over this one. This was 100% real.
Support the show. Join the Pizza Fund. Podawful.pizza.
Pizza.
Podawful.pizza.
Is this a cult if I ever heard one? Yes, it is. It's a cult. I mean, it's the cult of cult.
Podawful.pizza, by the way, if you want to go see the episode we were talking about before, the Pod After Show, where Vito calls in. Vito actually gets very, very candid about his relationship with Dick Masterson. It's not what most people think. I mean, these guys are not buddies whatsoever. However, a potential sexual encounter between Dick Masterson and Vito was discussed. I'm not joking. I talked with Vito about having a sexual encounter with Dick Masterson. Check it out, podawful.pizza. And we might even do a Pod After Show tonight. So join it, support the show, and keep the lights on in the moon base.
Why are you going immediately to the part where they have been calling me throughout? Start at the beginning. Why will you not start at the beginning?
Do we have sound?
We do here.
Do we have sound, or did it knock out? Let's see here. Check. Can you guys hear?
Start with Riley threatening me.
Can you guys hear it?
And then maybe
Yes, you can hear.
then maybe you'll understand why I get heated. Because a guy is calling me saying I'm going to do these things to you. And I start off.
You're lying. You're lying, Vito.
I'm not lying. Let's listen to it. I didn't call.
By the way, this is something you need to know right now. Every single fan of the Dick Show, of Dick Masters, is an insane person. That's it. It's all crazy people. Like my Riley, the guy who delivered the inflatable cow, he's not a one-off. There's a million of these guys.
The first time
Yes,
they
you
called
did.
me. What?
So did anybody else notice what I noticed? This was my big thing. So they send me, I said, I'm not going to buy it unless I see it uncut. I need to see this full interaction to know for sure whether or not this is real. Now, in that little moment where he tries to pull out the cord and all that kind of stuff, it got pretty intense, pretty heated. And I went, you know what? Maybe this is legit. Maybe I was wrong the entire time about all of this. Maybe this is not some sort of insane jealousy that Dick has, and he wants to now try to copy Keemstar and turn Vito into his personal boogie. Maybe Dick Masterson is literally wearing a Boogie t-shirt of Boogie firing the gun at Frank Hassel during this episode. So you couldn't make it any more obvious if you tried. You know, I mean, am I a conspiracy theorist? I think I'm seeing little clues everywhere. Am I crazy? You know what? I'm going to poll the chat on this one. Let me, we haven't done a poll in a while. Let's start a poll here. Am I crazy? Ah! Okay, as many question marks as possible. No, Jesse. Dick wanna be Keem, or yes, you are crazy. There is no chat. Okay, I'm just hallucinating the chat. Those are the options. If you buy this shit at this point, if you don't see what I see, if the veil hasn't been lifted off your eyes, then I don't know what to do. This is basically LolCal Live Jr. This is baby LolCal Live. They're not even trying to hide it.
You were here, Dick. You were in the studio. Did I get
And again, Vito is not in on it exactly, but he's not retarded. He's not R-worded. Actually, when he was young, he probably was Boogie style R-worded, which again makes him the perfect co-host for this. But I don't know if he had to jack off his dad, but he probably, let's be honest, he probably had to jack off his dad. Maybe we should ask Vito. We could probably just get Vito to call in. Oh, by the way, speaking of calling, I am, again, I'm in the on-air thing. If you want to call in, join the call-in channel on Discord. I would love to hear your opinions on this, actually. Even more than the poll. If you've got a take on what's going on here, jump in the call-in channel on Discord. I'll drag you on air and hear you out on that one. But Vito's not in on it exactly, but he knows what's going on. This is after the whole debacle of deleting super chats and all that kind of stuff. Are they sitting there planning this stuff out? No, but he knows.
Shut the fuck up, Tony. You weren't there. Can you dump Tony? He wasn't there. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
It's you're really losing control.
Show your fucking call log.
And you're starting to trip out.
People are just lying now. People are just making shit up.
Take a screenshot of your call logs. How's that sound?
You understand that everyone in that group has told you you're fucking up.
That's fine. I'm setting a boundary.
And you don't care.
I don't
You're setting a boundary with Ripoff Verse and Ethan Van Sciver
with everyone.
So you just repeat the same shit over and over.
I am setting. Okay.
Everyone says you are fucking up.
I'm not fucking up because this is very important to me. I'm setting a boundary for any fan of the show. For Riley.
Riley's not a fan.
Okay.
Stop framing it with this fucking lie, man. Everyone knows you're lying.
I can't even say what.
Riley's not. So he's like officially. He's like actually the producer. He's not a fan of the show. So you hired a producer. He didn't watch the show ahead of time. He was a legitimate producer. What else has Riley produced? Do you know this? That they refer to this freak as the producer of the show? Can you name anything else he's produced other than autism in his own girlfriend and transsexuality in Digibro? Which, by the way, I mean, pretty good producer. Kind of nailed it with that one. So I think he sort of made the Ethan Ralph pantsuit arc happen as well. Honestly, maybe he's one of the greatest producers of all time.
I want to say.
Yeah, you're a fucking victim.
Okay.
I'm not a victim.
You're getting railroaded by a bully.
I'm setting a boundary for
Call the cops. Call the cops because I'm interrupting you.
So then, so you set it.
Can I set a boundary for myself?
So Dick is saying call the cops. Dick said he was going to call the cops on a guy leaving an inflatable cow in his truck. This is setting a dangerous precedent. Okay, I want to draw a boundary right now. The boundary is the legal boundaries of Earth, okay? And also the physical boundaries of Earth, because I live on the moon. If you escape the Earth's, magnetic pull, how does the Earth work? If you escape the velocity of Earth, you are now encroaching on my territory, and I will enact castle doctrine on you, okay? I didn't know we had to set these boundaries. I think Vito's kind of a hero in all of this, to be honest. You're not allowed to murder me or break my stuff, okay? I think that's pretty simple. Everybody thought I was crazy when I just brought diapers to Ethan Ralph's. I was like, he's a lunatic. Bang, 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 bang. Finger guns. This guy's unhinged. And then they're like, you didn't go far enough. You didn't ring the doorbell. The boundaries, okay? The boundaries have been set. We all understand the boundaries.
Entertainer.
I'm not personally going anywhere. You send a Riley. If you personally do your own mischievous little things against me and you don't send a Riley, you've already broken all of the internet's Geneva conventions.
Trying to do a comedy show?
Yes.
Don't come onto my private property. That's
right.
it.
That's it. How many times are you going to say that?
Well,
as many times as I need to say it until people stop.
How many times are you going to say that? Anyway, why can't he come on your private property? Why are you acting like this?
Telling me, Vito, just let him do whatever he wants.
No, they're not saying that. They're saying he's obviously joking. Like we all obviously said you were joking when you said,
if he's
I'm
obviously
gonna fuck
joking,
kids.
if he's obviously joking,
when you said I'm not joking, I'm going to fuck
if he's
kids, we all
obviously
said
joking,
he's obviously joking.
there's no problem.
The problem that we have is with you.
But stay off my private property.
So he's obviously joking.
Okay. He's obviously joking. Then it's not a problem that he doesn't come on the private property. Where is the issue here? This is the thing. And this is what so many of these copycat guys don't get. You know, Dick's copying Keemstar. And as much as LolCal Live stinks, Keemstar is a YouTube guy. He's Mr. YouTube, really. I mean, drama alert. He knows what he's doing with this kind of shit. So when these guys copy something, they don't understand the underlying parts. They don't understand the crux of it. They don't understand what makes it work. So he goes, oh, okay, I got to have a reason to fire Vito because Vito's my boogie. What do we have? What do we have? Oh, well, we sent Riley after that Eric July guy. We'll just send him after Vito now. And he's not realizing, like, this is a legitimate problem. Like, Vito is not the bad guy in this scenario. And Dick forever has used his audience, which now Riley isn't even in the audience. Now he's an official branded member of the LolCal farm of Dick Masterson's chicken coop home. So now he's always used the audience as this smoke screen where it's like, oh, I didn't report your Patreon. If people went out there and they felt like reporting it on their own, Sean, if they did it themselves, Sean. Poor fucking Sean. I mean, look at Sean. Look at dumb, idiot Sean, empty-headed Sean. He doesn't even know who Riley is. He's never met the guy. He's never seen him before. He didn't even know this was a man, a part of the show. He's staring at this video going, how did I even get here? What is this? Who is Vito? This might even be the first time he's met Vito. I'm not sure he knows what any of these items are hanging up around him. He's sitting there clicking his jaw, going, trying to comprehend the thing. This is just a normal man. This guy in the middle, Sean, he's got Tourette's. He has no clue what's going on whatsoever. Look at him. Watch this. Watch.
You're going to keep saying it until that becomes
he just goes, Vito. Just out of nowhere, Vito. It's like he's trying to remember who. Okay, so Vito, right? And then this guy on screen's Riley. Okay, I know he's Riley because it says the word Riley on screen. So Vito. Is that just part of his Tourette's? Why did he do it? Vito. Did you sneeze? What was it?
Asked Riley.
You're going to keep saying it until that becomes the truth.
I asked Riley directly. I said, do you intend to come on my private property? And he will not answer. He has never said.
It's funnier.
He has never. Okay, so a guy says, if a guy cannot tell me, no, I will not come on your private property, then I'm going to tell him, okay, if you step foot on my private property.
When people ask you, Vito, are you gonna fuck my?
Look, Sean is like terrified. So there's just some guy on Discord, I guess, also talking to them. Sean forgot. He's the audio engineer, and he's like, oh my God, what the? He thought a ghost had come in. They're in like a spooky, unfinished basement part of the Hollywood Hills mansion that Dick Masterson lives in. So he thought like, oh my gosh, this is it. We're going to the afterlife now. There's a man talking to us from beyond. That makes sense. I must have died. Look at all these horrific creatures I'm being forced to look at. I knew I was hearing the devil. Yeah, Sean! Yeah! Boo! Ah!
Kids, you said I am not joking.
I'm going to fuck your kids.
Okay.
Why'd you say that?
Clip it.
Because it's funny.
Right. We all knew it.
And if that person said to me, if you fuck my kids, I'm going to call the cops. So that person should
go ahead and have the
would that be wrong?
Yeah. You know, Vito's right. Vito's right. I'm going to listen. I didn't know I had to set this boundary. I'm going to set this boundary real fast. You're not allowed to fuck my kids. I had a guy one time. He had not cross eyes. What do you call them? Teeth. He had crossed teeth. His teeth go every which direction. They stick straight out like this. If he ran face first into a wall, he'd get stuck there. This guy, gay guitar guy, they call him. He one time said, and I'm quoting him, okay? I don't have a daughter. This is a gay guitar guy quote. He said, come and fuck my fucking daughter. He said that to me one time. Come and fuck my fucking daughter. He kept offering up his daughter. And I go, well, all right, is she 18? I mean, maybe. How old is she? Turned out she was underage. And I was like, no, thank you. I'm not interested at all. But he was insistent upon it. I want to be clear. I'm drawing a boundary, and it's around my children. And if your penis enters into that boundary whatsoever, we're going to have a serious problem on our hands, mister. Now, I don't know if I'll call the cops because that's pussy shit, but...
That would be hilarious because that person would be a fucking moron for thinking that you are actually going to fuck their kids.
When a guy calls me up...
Without pig's blood.
Okay, let's be clear. Me on the internet troll posting going, yeah, I'm going to fuck your kids is different from
So when it's Vito, it's okay.
Oh
Vito
my
can
God,
make
Tony,
jokes.
for
No
the
one
love
else
of
can.
God.
I got it.
When Riley,
Tony, let him embarrass
when
himself.
Riley,
Go ahead, say everything
I'm
you
not
want to
embarrassed.
say.
All right, you know what? I don't have to say anything else other than don't come on my private property. It's a boundary.
You've said it like 100 times.
And I will say it as many times as I need to say it.
That's it. That's it. Like to me, coming from an outside perspective, you
the most outside perspective at all. I can't even believe Sean is waiting in. I thought he was asleep during this whole thing. So this is actually freaking me out. This is about to get bizarre. Now, anytime Sean starts talking, you just go ahead and throw one of these in there.
And don't come on my private property. It's a boundary.
You've said it like 100 times.
And I will say it as many times as I need to say it.
That's it. That's it. Like to me, coming from an outside perspective, you've made it very clear you don't want somebody to come harass you on your property.
Exactly.
And then I think, then there isn't much more to say until that happens.
Sure.
Like you kind of cross that bridge when you come to it.
I needed to make Riley very clear of that because Riley.
Okay, well, thanks, Sean. Thank God you said all that. I don't know where we'd be right now if you hadn't just repeated the premise of what's going on. Whew, it's like watching Revenge of the Sis. They just tell you what you're looking at.
I don't know exactly what he understands of what's private property and what's public property.
You did when he was bugging Eric July. You said it was hilarious and that everyone knows Riley's harmless and that he's just goofing around and that all Eric has to do is ignore it.
I said, yeah.
Because it's obvious.
I know when he's
actually, he said all Eric had to do was come outside and talk to Riley with shaving cream on his shoulders.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't believe I said that.
The point we can go back.
Nobody knows. They don't know. They're like, yeah, sure. All right.
Look, I'll get the clip and play
when
it tonight.
Riley is on private or public property, a public parking lot, or out in front of a public venue, that's fine. And if he wants to be on the public street and yell about me, that's fine. It's 100%. He can do anything he wants on.
That's Sean proving he is listening. I don't think it proves that. I think it does exactly the opposite. That's the thing you do when you wake up in the middle of class. When the teacher's like, Mr. Matthews, because I guess your teacher's Mr. Feeney. He goes, Mr. Matthews, and you go, Topanga. And he goes, correct. And you turn to Sean and you go, what the fuck? What was the question? And he goes, what's the city in Kansas? So no, that's Topeka. I'm retarded. Listen, I'm going to be honest. The whole time I even tried that Jag, all I was thinking about is my famous character, James Gandalf Feeney. Okay? James Gandalf Feeney. This is my impression of James Gandalf Feeney. You ready?
You should not pass, Mr. Matthews.
I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have. Let me try one more time. Let me do a little Christopher. I don't really watch The Sopranos, so I'm just doing other people's impression here.
Christopher.
All right. I can't do. All right, this is embarrassing. Please don't look at me. I'm Sean.
Public property. I cannot stop him. And there's a public street outside my house, and he can stand there and do whatever he wants.
So, James Gandalf Feeney.
You shall not pass, Mr. Matthews. You shall not pass, Mr. Matthews. You shall not pass, Mr. Matthews.
I don't want to do it too much because then you can't hear the bit. You shall not pass, Mr. Matthews. It's all right. Listen.
So you think Riley is not joking
about coming onto my property?
Yeah, or in general. You think he's a threat?
Jesse, are you okay? No. Number one, I'm hot. I'm sweating. And number two, You know, there are moments of this show where I go, why do I even have cameras?
I think that he intends to come onto my property. I don't
And that
care
he's a
what he
threat.
does there.
Well, if he stands on the sidewalk to do it, then maybe he gets enough arc.
You just don't want him there at all.
I don't know if he's a threat or not. I just don't want him there at all.
Push the bit, they say in the chat. Okay, you want a little bit more? Hi, Lenny. Hi, Lenny.
Hi.
Hi. Did you hear my character?
Yeah.
James Gandalf Feeney.
I get it.
See, now I'm not sure you do get it. Now,
I mean,
first of all, all right. So, do you know who James Gandolfini is?
Yeah, he's the guy from the Italian mob show.
Yeah, Goodfellas.
He likes the gabagool.
Right. Yeah. And then, do you know who Gandalf is?
Yeah, the white or the gray? Which one?
Both of them.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep, same
then
guy.
Gandalf the Gray and Gandalf the White and Monty Python and the Holy Grail's Black Knight. And Benito,
that one.
Benito Mussolini and the Blue Meanie and Cowboy Curtis and John B. the Genie.
Yep.
RoboCop, Terminator, Captain Kirk and Darth Vader.
Okay. Yeah, I'm following.
Lopan, Superman, every single Power Ranger.
I remember that. Yeah.
Bill S. Preston and Theodore Logan.
Okay.
Spock, The Rock, Doc Ock, and Hulk Hogan.
All right.
Okay, now do you know who Mr. Feeney is?
Yes.
All right. So James Gandalf. Now, do you know Gandalf's famous line? He's got his catch cry.
You shall not pass.
Right.
Something like that.
Yep. And then do you know Mr. Feeney's his favorite student, what his last name is?
Mr. Matthews.
Right. Okay, so the bit here is it's all three of those guys in one.
Yes. James Gandolfini. I don't know if I'm feeling that coming through in the performance.
Let me try it one more time. You ready?
Yes.
You shall not pass, Mr. Matthews.
All right. I felt it that time.
All right,
three.
Okay, all of them. Nailed it. All right. Is this thing on? Hello? You watching the show right now?
Yeah. How about you?
I don't know, man. I
You
gotta
come here often?
Nah, I gotta be honest. I'm not feeling this one. Should I just can I put this one in private? Can we just get DDoSed and I put this one in private?
DDoS in the chat. Come on.
Let's just DDoS the chat until I am forced to go away.
I had a question.
Please, the love of God, interrupt
I had
whatever
two
this
questions.
is. All right, I'll take up to 4 questions.
All right. So in the new original Biggest Problem in the Universe show,
Wait, hang on a second. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but HC Frick in the chat says, I still don't understand about the impression. I really want to get this clear to everybody.
we got to go back on that.
We
yeah.
might have to walk through this one more time. All right. Now, HC Frick, have you ever heard of James Gandolfini? He was an actor. Ask Mersh about it. You used to be a Mersh guy, right? Go ask Mersh about him. Come back to me. All right, go ahead, Lenny.
Between you and Vito, which one of you is going to be the dick and which one of you is going to be the Maddox?
I think that's pretty obvious. I mean, just ask yourself this. Which one of us is into R word?
Retards or rape?
Yes.
Both at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not like Dick. I wouldn't be sitting there trying to recreate the formula, the magic over and over again for the rest of my life. He had basically Dick Masterson's life has been chasing the dragon of that show from 2016. That's how old that is, by the way. Isn't that fucked up? Isn't that one of the most fucked up things ever? That's 2016. It's pre-Trump. Okay? Pre-Trump in the White House. His entire adult career now has been trying to relive the magic he had with Maddox. I wouldn't be doing that. There wouldn't be a Dick and a Maddox. There would be a Vito and me, Jesse, the greatest guy. And I would be, the master, and Vito would be like the slave, if that's what you mean.
You'd be the guy, I'm in a rage, and he'd be the...
No. There'd be no rages. It'd be brand new stuff. This would be more of like the original biggest problem in the universe. You know what I mean?
Okay.
See that, like that word there, it means it's original. It's like a brand new type of thing.
This ruins my next question.
All right, well, go ahead.
I mean, have you considered a Sean?
Well, we will hire just the actual Sean for it. Sean, Sean is a free agent. He was on both of them. Both. Of
I was going to recommend Shaman.
No, I'm good. Because here's the thing. I have to draw a boundary. And Shaman does not respect these I don't know if you've seen this, but Shaman is losing his mind over boundaries and calling cops.
He's going to call the cops.
He's going to call the cops. This is crazy. I don't know if anybody saw me tweet this. Comedy Shaman accidentally catfished himself again. Spoilers for the 9/11 episode. But Comedy Shaman got catfished again by himself. And he has now turned himself gay so many times that he's threatening to call the police on people over it. And that's where and listen, he has every right to draw his boundary. Okay, that's his boundary. Now, he doesn't color inside the lines when he draws, and it's a little hard to understand exactly where these boundaries are. And he might be redrawing them every single time he falls in love with a new catfish or starts using meth again. But the truth here is, Comedy Shaman did threaten to murder me. And that's kind of my boundary. Try threatening to murder me and my wife and my kids. For me, that's a big boundary marker. I'm going to start gerrymandering around that type of thing. You know what I mean? Like,
if anyone's annihilating that family, it's going to be you.
Oh yeah. I mean, come on. I'm going to Holt them. One day, they're going to be terrified. They're going to be sitting there shivering in their little boots because one day I'm going to go, let's go to the cabin in the woods. And they're going to go, we don't own a cabin in the woods. And I go, and they know I don't like going outside or doing anything. Oh boy, you should be suspicious. If I ever come up with plans, you should be very, very suspicious of what's coming next. Bye, family. It's new family time. And let's face it, I am getting to the age of second family. My dad had a second family. A lot of, some of the greatest men on earth are by this age would have had their third or fourth family by now. You're supposed to kind of start new families as you go. Try starting over, seeing what works, throwing out what doesn't. Like my brother and his sister. So, any other questions, Lenny?
I mean, are you going to bring Rucka back?
Well, Rucka wasn't on The Biggest Problem. He was on Maddox's show after that. I was thinking about Rucka. How does Rucka get to have a YouTube channel and I don't? All of his songs are just, chinkity China, the Chinese chinkin'. And then it's like, how is that allowed? I guess he probably has lost videos and YouTube channels, but then he's got like gigantic YouTube channels that are just fine. And every video is just like, isn't it funny that I'm Chinese? What is the secret sauce? How does he, is it because he's Jewish? How does that work?
That's it.
That's probably it. I'm Jewish now. Okay, clip that. I'm on my third family, says InfoWar in the chat. You're allowed, Lenny, you're going to start. I mean, you just kind of started a family, really, in the past few months.
I just got into my first one.
You just got in your first one. But how old are you again?
35.
Ooh, you're gonna have to start speed running that family, my friend. I'm sorry.
The next two are gonna be quick.
You're gonna speed run that family real fast. You make her pop out at least one more, and then start hunting. Start looking for the next move. Okay. You're gonna need to buy a new car and not explain it. That's number one on the list. You know something's up when there's a brand new unexplained vehicle in the driveway. It's not a gift. There's no bow on it. It's just for dad. He's doing something.
Get rid of
with
the
it.
old ones.
No.
It's an additional.
It's an additional vehicle, and something's up. And the whole family knows there's an air. There's like a dark cloud hanging over the family. Where you go, you want to ask dad about the car. You want a flashy one or like a midlife crisis. You know, I'm buying the convertible type. I'm just anything. Just any new Yaris. Brand new Yaris in the driveway. And you're like, huh? How'd that even? Is that
Kia Soul?
A Kia is usually involved. Turns out your dad is secretly a Kia boy. He got himself a USB stick and he's been going wild out there in them streets, and he's getting very big on Instagram. So you know he's got ladies in his DMs. They're sliding in. He's going to be on that second family in no time flat. You're going to have to speed run this family you've got going on right now, Lenny. Honestly, it's not working out anyway. I would say maybe even drop them now. Start over. Try a brand new one. I was there at that wedding that you had, and
beautiful wedding.
I didn't get to have any of the brisket, so I feel like it was maybe one of the worst weddings I had ever.
Gonna get away from that.
I thought it was maybe one of the worst weddings I've ever attended. To be honest, it was very awkward. And it just, you know what it was? It didn't feel like there was any love there, and there was no connection. Like the two families, it was a little Montagues, Capulets, star-crossed lover kind of vibe going on. You could tell it was doomed from the start. Get out of there before she starts poisoning lips or some shit. I don't know what's going on there, but you got to get out of that shit because, it's just that's a bomb. That's a ticking time bomb. Your wife. So, and tell her I said this, by the way. That you think that would not help, but it'll actually help your case. It'll start putting a complex in her brain where
I warned her.
She's going to start going like, is he right? At first, she'll just be mad, and she'll be. Or at first, she'll like, brush it off. She'll be like, oh, okay, stop talking to Jesse. Ugh, your little internet friend, stop it. That's her first thing, and then she'll be like straight up pissed, and she'll be mad at you about it, and then she'll develop a nice, healthy complex over it, where she obsesses over the thought about, are you actually, every time you ever mention another female from that point forward, she'll be thinking is he trying to set up a second family sort of scenario? And you should allow her, give her the space and the tranquility and the room to believe these kinds of things without ever overtly hinting anything. Leave your phone sitting there unlocked in front of her. Like literally unlock your phone, sit it in front of her, and then get up and walk away like a trap. Just see what happens. You know what I mean? You've got nothing on there.
Corner.
You've got nothing on there. She can't. You've got Grindr hidden in folders within folders. She'll never find it. She'll never know about your secret proclivities. She'll never
Hasn't yet.
She'll never know about your PDF filled with PDFs. And, but you just let her brain percolate on this for a while. And eventually, when it comes time for the second family to commence, she'll do all the work for you. You won't even have to lift a finger. She's going to break it up because she's going to cheat on you with a guy at a gym. So that'll be nice.
She goes to the gym.
Does she go to the gym? No. Another reason to leave her. All right. Ooh, this poll. Am I crazy? 69% say no, Jesse. Dick wannabe Keem. Wow, very good. I thought so, but who knows for sure? You said you had 4 questions, Lenny.
No, I said I had 2. You said you would take up to 4.
Okay, well, you got one more left, so.
No, that's
Oh,
2 more. I had 2.
No, we've done 3, believe it or not. I'm fairly certain.
Will you start my second family together?
No, we're not.
All right, there you go.
We're
There
not
you go.
doing
There's the
any. We're not doing any. Twist in this plot. No third act twists where suddenly I go gay or anything like that. That's more of a comedy shaman style move, where right when you think he's going to quit the relationship, he doubles down and he's actually permanently in love with someone that he believes to be a 6'2" trans person with a 3-inch long clit.
Yummy.
Yeah, which is true. All right, let's take a look at this.
Boys, are you hiding in your house?
Here's the
Vito?
deal. I need to make this. This is a boundary I need to set for everyone. And if I say, "Oh, it's okay for Riley to come onto my
you
property,"
never needed to say it's okay. You've just been saying this on repeat over and over and over
because
for like
it's
24
becoming
hours.
because it's becoming a bit for the show. The bit for the show is
It's becoming a bit that could, because you're reacting like this.
I don't want the bit to be it's okay to go to Vito's house and fuck with his house.
No one has done that.
But they're joking about it like it's okay.
Riley's joking about it.
And
again, the real reason we're here, according to some, is because Dick was not okay with Vito signal boosting a guy who sent a guy to Dick's house. By the way, did Vito... Hang on a second. Did Vito ever signal boost the stream? I never followed up on that. Let's see. Just check my mentions here. Blast it, Vito, someone says. At Vito Comedy. They're tagging him in the replies. I don't feel like I'm getting blasted at all. I need a Maddox blast going on here. Pod Awful talking about Boogie, apparently. Thanks for that. There you go. And then Pod Awful is the only answer. Okay. Nope, nothing from Vito. That's very, very disappointing. That's the level of disappointing where we might need to do something about it. Where we might need to punish him. We might need to make him go walk along the street and pick up trash, or admit to his grandmother that he's got AIDS, or, one of these classic Boogie style bits that we've always done to Vito. This is the kind of thing that we just do to him. Let me copy the link there and post this in chat. Guys, signal boost that so that Vito can signal boost our channel here.
Other people are egging him on.
Well, can you blame him?
Okay, so the fans are egging on Riley, saying, "Yeah, you fuck with his private property. It's cool. Like, you're trolling him." And I'm telling them, stay on the public street. That's it. And I have to keep saying it because people keep saying, "Oh, Riley, you should do it," or like, "Oh, he's not actually."
I think you're making that up. I think you're lying about that. I think no one has told him to actually do it.
There's so many people posting so much stuff. I can't separate who's serious, who's joking, whatever else. I just have to say, guys, all I want to do in my life is do a comedy podcast, and this is my public life. This is public. All of this.
Yeah.
This arguing and whatever else.
Yeah.
My home is just like, I have to have a place that I can be a private citizen.
Now,
did you notice something missing there?
Go ahead.
He said, all I want to do is a comedy podcast. What about the comic? It's like he doesn't even care anymore.
What about that when is that comic book coming out? And also he has a YouTube channel of his own. What about those videos and all the other little projects? But that's a good point. Yeah, all I want to do is a comedy podcast. Clearly, because you're ripping people off not doing that comic book. I don't really know the full story on that, but I heard something recently. I read something. Someone said that people are getting ripped off, that he's just straight up announced like the comic book's not happening or something. They're never getting their money back. I don't know what's going on. But here's the thing I noticed in that. Vito, he wants to have this private, public sort of thing going on. He's trying to draw these boundaries. What exactly is going on inside this house? That is so concerning. Now, I know Dick keeps referring back to these jokes. And I know previously on the show, we've cleared Vito of any possible Vitophilia, but there must be something horrifying going on behind those Vito walls, those velvety Vito walls. What could you even glean from just stepping onto the property? And I got to be honest, and this is maybe the saddest, sickest part of this entire endeavor. This is kind of making me want to go to Vito's house and see what's going on in there. I want to look in those windows, crawl around in his grass, digging around in his yard to see what kind of bugs he's got. Get up into a tree, see if I can get onto the rooftop. Crawl around inside. Is there a chimney? Can I go down it like Santa Claus? There's only one way to find out. Does he park his car on the street or does he have a driveway? Is the car locked? How locked is it? Is it Kia Boys style locked? Could I get into that car? Bet I can. I've got a little piece of ceramic from a fuse that if I just throw it at your back windshield, kablooey, the whole thing's gone. You want to see? And I'm not saying I would do any of this. I would draw, again, I personally draw a boundary around exactly this sort of thing. I would never want this to happen to me. So obviously I don't want it to happen to Vito, but the more and more he talks about this, the more I know that he's probably got some gold buried in that yard. And if I don't start digging holes in his yard all day, every day, then I might not ever find that gold. I got to see what's going on in it. Like, what's his routine? When does he get up? When does he go to Dick's place? Does he ever leave? Should I follow him around the neighborhood? The neighborhood's not the property line. You're allowed to follow him around the neighborhood. In fact, I think he says that at one point during this. But then what does he smell like when he comes out of the house? Does it smell like death? Is there a faint scent and odor at all of some sort of decomposition going on? I wonder what is going on under them floorboards. I bet you I could lift them up.
What's the name of his Wi-Fi network?
Exactly. We need to be sniffing packets. Okay.
What kind of router does he have?
Exactly. We got to find all this kind of stuff out. But again, I would never do that. But it is making me bloodthirsty for it. And I am considering doing it instead of what I just said.
And that's it.
So fucking kids jokes are okay, but Riley joking about pig's blood in the cracks of your car is...
I was just thinking, can pig's blood fit into Vito's car window cracks? Is it physically possible? This is just a science experiment I'm talking about. Like, could you, if you use like enough pressure, could you squeeze it through the window into the car and spray paint the inside with pig's blood? I've always thought about that.
Joke about anything he wants from the public street. 100%.
No. But he's not. See, this is why you're such an effective liar. Riley is...
I really thought he was about to say effete.
Making jokes about coming to your house. You are making jokes about fucking kids. You see how they're exactly the same?
No. Personally, no.
And if anybody, here's the thing.
Now you're saying if anybody fucked kids, that would be a big problem. Well, yeah, no shit.
Maybe the biggest problem in the universe. Okay, so we got to wrap this one up and go into the Pod After show, but there's lots more of this video. We're going to keep covering this video in the Pizza Fund, podawful.pizza. And I also want to show you something. I'll give you a little taste of this before we go into the Pizza Fund. This shit's nuts. Okay? Now, like I said, Dick has no shortage of insane in the membrane listeners. When they stick Dick in their ear, it scrambles what little brain they had to begin with. And here's an example. This is actually from years ago. I found this. This clip is called Schizophrenic Calls into the Dick Show after showing up at Dick's door. You see, Dick has had to deal with this exact same thing before. Not just when Pod Awful is laughing and taking videos of it. He's been dealing with this for some time. You would think he would have more sympathy for Vito. Check this out.
All right. Is Carl in here? Carl the quintillionaire? Carl,
yeah.
Are you here? Were you just trying to call me on Discord, you motherfucker?
Lenny, tell me if this voice sounds familiar to you.
All right, let me call you.
No, you're talking to me right now. Don't call me.
Oh shit. Okay.
Okay, Carl, you showed up at my house last week after the show. Why did you do that?
Your face. Your face isn't small at all. You're a tall fuck.
No, why did you show up to my house? Why did you do that last week?
I wanted to start making money, man. I'm working at Taco Bell.
But why did you?
Does that sound familiar at all to you, Lenny?
It does, but I can't place it.
All right. So this video is from like 4 years ago, I think. It might even be from older than that. So I want you to take the voice that you just heard, and I want you to subtract 4 years of meth from it. Add 4 years of meth to it and see if maybe it starts being clearer who this is.
A whole bunch of 16-year-old girls just looking at my guns, dude. I don't like it.
Any ideas?
That my Riley.
I think this might be. Everybody thought I was lying when I said that my Riley was just a Dick Show fan. I think that wasn't the first time my Riley had showed up to Dick's house. Listen to this.
Why did you show up at my house? That's what I want to know.
I wanted to make jokes. You were sweating. I don't know what you were doing.
I was sweating because I don't know you, and I'm worried about lunatics showing up at my house unannounced. Don't show up at my house. This goes for everybody. Do not show up at my fucking house.
Is Dick drawing a boundary there? This call gets bizarre. That Joker laugh you hear him doing in the background, it's not a bit. They're not having fun right now. This is an 11-minute call, and it never gets settled why this guy thought it was okay to just show up to Dick's house. And I'm convinced that this may, in fact, be my Riley. Join the Pizza Fund. Watch the after show. We'll have that set up in just a few minutes. Podawful.pizza. And until next time, have an awful day. Bye. Say bye, Lenny.
Bye, Lenny.
Bada bing, bada boom, baby. I live in a hellhole, surrounded by idiots.
Podawful.pizza.
Podawful one.